You think buying a frequency bracelet makes you an elite performer. You think drinking $40 alkaline water means you are optimizing your cellular health. You believe that because you consume 15 different supplements every morning, you are actively biohacking your way to success. You are completely wrong. Right now, your brain and body are suffocating under metabolic exhaustion, but your biology is not fundamentally broken. It is financed by highly profitable pseudoscientific illusions. When you chase complex wellness trends instead of executing biological fundamentals, you are no longer a high performer. You are a highly profitable consumer of placebos. The industry is monetizing your exhaustion. Let us establish a brutal clinical baseline. There is a massive dissonance between the effort you put into your health and the results you actually get. You do everything right. You buy the sleep masks. You listen to the gurus. You hydrate constantly. Yet, you wake up at 7 a.m. feeling like you were hit by a truck. You suffer from chronic brain fog by 2 p.m. You are skeptical, but when someone shows you a cheap balance test with a magnetic bracelet, you immediately pull out your credit card. You think you are investing in your biology. You are actually investing in a sophisticated dopamine trap. The wellness industry has weaponized your desire for improvement. They take complex biological systems and sell you a shortcut, a bracelet, a magic powder, a filter that supposedly brings your dead water back to life. This is not science. It is biological theater. If you want to master your human performance, we need to perform a clinical autopsy on the lies you have been sold. Let us start with the concept of frequency alignment and magnetic bracelets. The claim is that a piece of rubber with a magnet inside will align your cellular frequencies, improve your strength, and grant you deep sleep. This is an insult to neuroscience. Human biology does not operate on magical solar frequencies transmitted through your wrist. Your body operates on ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It operates on action potentials, sodium channels, and mitochondrial efficiency. When a salesperson pushes you slightly off balance, puts a bracelet on you, and suddenly you feel stronger, you are experiencing the ideal motor effect. Your brain anticipates the resistance, and your muscles recruit more motor units to brace for the impact. The bracelet did absolutely nothing. Your central nervous system did all the work. You are paying hundreds of dollars for a rubber band that exploits a basic neurological reflex. You are outsourcing your discipline to a piece of plastic. The moment you strap a device to your body and expect it to fix your fatigue, you have lost the game. Are you someone who tries every new gimmick, or are you someone who executes what actually works? High performers do not rely on passive fixes. If you are tired, it is not because your frequencies are misaligned. It is because your sleep architecture is completely destroyed. Let us look at the actual clinical data regarding sleep. You do not need a magical mask to fall asleep. You need to control your adenosine accumulation and your core body temperature. Adenosine is a chemical byproduct of cellular energy consumption. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine builds up in your brain. This creates sleep pressure. When you consume caffeine late in the afternoon, you block the adenosine receptors. The chemical is still there, but your brain cannot feel it. When the caffeine wears off, you experience a violent crash. No magnetic bracelet can save you from an adenosine flood. Furthermore, to enter deep, slow-wave sleep, your core body temperature must drop by 1 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're eating heavy meals 2 hours before bed, your metabolism is running hot. If you are staring at a screen, the blue light is destroying your natural melatonin production. You cannot hack a bad routine. You must execute the biological fundamentals. You stop eating 3 hours before sleep. You drop the temperature in your room. You block all light. You force your biology into a state of recovery. That is real biohacking. Everything else is a distraction. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Now, let us expose the ultimate hydration scam. Alkaline water. You have been told that standard water is dead. You have been sold expensive filters that claim to microcluster water molecules so they can hydrate you at a cellular level. You have been told that disease cannot survive in an alkaline environment, and therefore you must drink alkaline water. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of human physiology. Your stomach is a vat of hydrochloric acid. It has a pH of roughly 1, 5 to 3. 5, it is incredibly acidic. When you drink alkaline water with a pH of 9, the moment it hits your stomach, it is instantly neutralized. Your body maintains its own blood pH tightly between 7, 35 and 7, 45. If your blood pH actually changed because of the water you drank, you would be in the intensive care unit. Your body regulates acidity through your lungs and your kidneys, not through an expensive water filter. True cellular hydration has absolutely nothing to do with alkalinity. It is entirely driven by osmosis and the sodium-potassium pump. Water follows electrolytes. If you are drinking a gallon of purified water a day, but you have stripped all the sodium, potassium, and magnesium from your diet, you are not hydrating. You are literally flushing your minerals down the drain. You will feel constantly thirsty, lethargic, and weak. The solution is not a $2,000 alkaline machine. The solution is adding high-quality sea salt and trace minerals to your water. You need sodium to pull the water into the cell. That is how biology works. It is cheap, it is unglamorous, and it is relentlessly effective. Are you chasing the trend, or are you chasing the truth? we need to dissect why smart people fall for these traps. It comes down to a deeply rooted psychological mechanism. It is the desire for the magic pill. The human brain is evolutionarily hardwired to conserve energy. When presented with two options, doing months of hard cardiovascular training to improve mitochondrial function, or wearing a wristband that promises the same result, your brain will always crave the wristband. It is the path of least resistance. When you buy the latest biohacking gadget, your brain releases a massive wave of dopamine. You feel productive. You feel like you are taking action. You experience a rush of fake progress, right? You get the exact same neurochemical high as someone who just completed a grueling workout, but you did absolutely nothing. You just spent money. You are artificially stimulating your reward system without paying the biological price of execution. This is why you constantly jump from one supplement to the next. The moment the dopamine spike from the purchase fades, you face the harsh, painful reality of actual work. Real health is boring. Consistency is tedious. It does not give you an immediate high. So instead of facing that friction, you search for another shortcut. You convince yourself that you just need to find the right frequency, the right water, or the right supplement before you can finally feel good. You are lying to yourself. You are using consumption as an anesthetic to numb the pain of your own inaction. Your liver is tired of your experiments. Let us look at the clinical damage of polypharmacy in the biohacking space. You take 20 different pills every morning. You mix adaptogens, nootropics, and synthetic vitamins. You think you are building a super brain. In reality, you are creating massive biological cross-reactivity. Your liver has to process every single compound you ingest. When you overload the hepatic system with highly concentrated, unregulated extracts, you spike your liver enzymes. You create systemic stress. Furthermore, when you constantly flood your brain with external neurotransmitter precursors, you run the risk of receptor downregulation. Your brain is a highly sensitive thermostat. If it senses that dopamine or serotonin levels are artificially high from synthetic inputs, it will aggressively reduce its own natural production. When you stop taking the supplements, you crash harder than before. Your baseline is destroyed. You have biologically trained your body to rely on an external crutch. You become an intellectual giant trapped in a fragile, chemically dependent physical shell. The elite performer does not operate this way. The elite performer understands the execution ratio. For every one supplement you add to your stack, you must have 10 consistent lifestyle habits perfectly dialed in. If your sleep is garbage, your diet is highly processed, and you do not train, you have no right to touch a biohacking protocol. You must earn the right to supplement. Stop hacking! Start executing! You must declare war on complexity. Complexity is the ultimate excuse for failure. If your routine requires a spreadsheet, 3 wearable devices, and 20 pills, you will fail. It is biologically unsustainable. The true science of human performance relies on a few non-negotiable pillars. First, circadian alignment. You view bright sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up. This triggers a cortisol pulse that sets your biological clock, guaranteeing adenosine clearance and melatonin production 14 hours later. It costs $0. Second, metabolic flexibility. You expose your body to actual physical stressors. You lift heavy weights. You do intense cardiovascular work. This creates mitochondrial uncoupling. It forces your cells to destroy weak mitochondria and build stronger, more efficient ones. No magnetic bracelet can replicate the biological adaptation to physical pain. Third, absolute nutritional simplicity. You consume single ingredient foods. You hydrate with adequate electrolytes. You starve the inflammatory pathways. When you strip away the garbage, the biological transformation is violent. The fog vanishes. Your natural energy returns. Your processing speed doubles. You stop looking for external solutions to internal deficits. You realize that true health is not something you can buy. It is something you must ruthlessly build. Pause and write this down. Now, are you of those who try everything? Or are you of those who choose what actually works? While others chase the next biohacking trend, you choose what is grounded in clinical results. While others complicate their health with endless data points and expensive gadgets, you simplify it. You strip away the noise. You master the fundamentals. That is not luck, that is clarity. And clarity is the quiet superpower that separates the overwhelmed from the truly optimized. Stop outsourcing your physiology to the wellness industry. Stop drinking dead marketing. Myelinate the habit of execution. Protect your cognitive bandwidth. Right. If you want to master your human biology and translate clinical science into unfair advantages, subscribe to the channel. Close this video right now. Execute the fundamentals and do not come back until the work is done. I will see you in the next one.